What's going on, you guys? Let's talk about My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 14. I didn't review last week's episode. It was fine. It was like a fun little filler episode. Nothing really happened. It was entertaining. I probably prefer watching it in the dub because I do prefer the dub, especially when it comes to stuff like that. But whatever. It was a fine episode. Didn't hate it or anything. Just didn't really feel like it needed a video. This episode, though, exact opposite. Much more I don't want to say story focused stuff, but you get, upgrades for all the characters. They're learning new moves. They're training to get their provisional licenses. They're learning ultimate moves. It's really cool. It's a really cool episode seeing the characters experiment with their powers and use them in new ways. I like seeing that. I like seeing abilities have depth to them. It's like, Bakugo can create explosions, but it's like, what can you do with those explosions that's more creative than just going boom, boom? And what he does is he creates like a focused explosion that's almost like a beam. It's like a beam explosion that tears through this wall. Really cool, really creative. Um, Tokuyami using Dark Shadow as a suit of armor. Not as creative, that's kind of predictable, but it's really cool, and it's a good way to get over his weakness of not being good in a fight. So that was really cool to see, and it looks badass. And then we have a couple of other side ones that we don't really see too much, but you can kind of guess what they're going to be based on what we see. Like with Jiro, she has like these weird gadgets on her hands, and it looks like she could probably plug her earphone jack into the glove and then like shoot sound blasts out of her hands, which is a really cool idea. She can already do that with her legs. You'd think she would have already come up with that, but whatever. Speaking of using legs and arms and shit, we have Deku, who's probably the biggest, or the most significant upgrade. He basically gets these big ass gloves. They look kind of dumb, I'm going to be honest with you, but I'll probably get used to them. He has these big ass gloves that will support his arms when he uses his powers. But more than that, he also has these new boots, and he's going to focus on using his legs, which is pretty smart considering the condition that his arms are currently in. Uh, I say currently like they'll get better, but I think they are pretty much as good as they're going to get. He's really fucked them up. So yeah, he's going to use his legs. Objectively speaking, that's totally fine. It makes sense. His arms are hurt. He wants to use his legs, not copy All Might, be his own character. I really like all that. The boots look badass. From a subjective standpoint, for my own personal tastes, I do prefer fist fighting. I think you can get way more dynamic poses and cool badass action out of fist fighting, in my opinion. And other people might like legs. Sanji fans, what's up? And I like Sanji too. Sanji has some great panels, and hell, even Deku's kick in this episode when he broke the rock that almost hit All Might, that looked badass. So I'm just more a fan of like fist fighting, but the legs can be badass. Not going to underestimate the kicks. So yeah, and I'm sure he'll still use his hands. I mean, he has the gloves to reinforce his hands, so he'll probably just use his hands either as like I'd say it's a last resort, but technically legs are stronger than like our legs are stronger than our arms in the human body. So I don't know what he'd use his hands for if he's going to focus on legs now. I guess for doing flips and stuff, bouncing off walls. I don't know. That sounds like all leg stuff, but I'm sure he'll use his arms for something. So yeah, it was a good episode, definitely. Deku definitely had the most significant upgrade, but I thought everyone there, Todoroki had something. I'm not sure what it is that he had, but he had like some kind of wristbands, I think. It's really cool to see all the characters upgrading their abilities and getting better. Let's see, what else? What else? There were some funny jokes too, like when All Might's giving everyone advice, and he has like a how to be a teacher for dummies in his back pocket. That was really funny. Yeah, the boob scene. I don't know. I don't know what else to call it. The boob scene with what's her name, Hatsume and Deku, and I guess Uraraka as part of the gag too. It was funny, like the whole scene with like the explosion, and Uraraka has like this smile on her face, like she hasn't realized what the hell just happened. And then of course Hatsume's on Deku, and a little bit of fan service. It was fine. It was funny. So yeah, there was that scene, and then Hatsume throughout the rest of that scene was hilarious with all her gadgets, trying to almost torture them. Like Deku almost got like fucking broken in half, and like Ida was on the ceiling, and I don't know what was in that barrel, but it exploded. So it was funny. It was crazy hijinks. And then you get a little bit of characterization for her. Power Loader starts talking about her personality and how driven she is, which is cool. It's nice to see stuff like that for more minor characters. I feel like we haven't even gotten a moment like that. Well, I guess we have gotten like moments for some of the Class B stuff characters to shine, but we really haven't gotten like a solid characterization moment like that for anyone from Class B, and yet Hatsume already has it. So whatever, it's whatever. I just find that funny. So what else happened in this episode? I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's training for ultimate moves. and like focusing on learning and being creative with your powers, new costume stuff, comedy. That's pretty much it. And Deku learning to not try to be exactly like All Might, trying not to imitate him, which I guess is like character development, I suppose. But yeah, it's a really good episode. It's simple. It focuses on one thing primarily, which is upgrading. Even if getting the costumes and learning new moves, it's all part of upgrading the skill set of the characters. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Moments like Bakugo learning that focused explosion were really, really nice to see. It was really satisfying to see the characters use their abilities in more creative ways. But that's really all I have to say about the episode. It's a really solid one. I'd give it like a solid like 7.5, maybe an 8. It's definitely like a good to very good episode. It's well paced. Animation is solid for what it needs to be in the episode. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. So, with that being said, what did you guys think of this episode of My Hero Academia? Go ahead and tell me in the comment section below. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you like what you've seen here. Click on the little bell to get notifications when my videos go up. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.